Without further ado, I would like to invite our next speaker to the stage, Junbo Zhang from Unity China, and he's going to be talking about bringing your games to China with Unity, a pathway for games to thrive in China.
I'm Junbo Zhang from Unity China, so I'm glad to be here in PGC. This is the first time, and I'm excited to meet with all folks. So my speech is about bring your games to China, and we all know China market is very close and very unique, and it's very challenging for the foreign developers to get their games into China. But we do see there's opportunity, and we are here to come with a solution, one-stop solution to help us to bring more games into China. All right. Let's start from some numbers we all know about. This is about the size of the China gaming market. So outside of this 187 billion global gaming revenue, China accounts for about 1/4 of it. However, we all know majority of this revenue, the revenue come from actually was taken by the big players like Tencent, NetEase, and we figure out how as other small players, how we can get into this market. So secondly, in China market, mobile gaming is dominating. It's roughly 75% of the total game market. And so again, I say probably out of this 73% of mobile market was taken by 80% of this was taken by the top 3 or 4 game publishers in China. However, we do see there's a niche and the opportunity from instant game. So instant game, I believe they almost double or at least increased by 60% year over year compared to 23. So this year the market, the estimated market is about 5.6 billion, 5.7 billion dollars combined in China market. And fortunately, in the instant game, so the majority of the players now actually come from the top publishers. It actually come from, it open a door for many of the newcomers, the small indies. So we see a flooding of the publishers to get into the instant game. Because of the nature of the instant game, so it's not that heavy, and its schedule is so easy to play. So we do see this open up a door for more folks. So to seize the opportunity in the China mobile games. So Unity China, we have a unique position. So we established a joint venture in China back in 22. It's between Unity Global and some of the big players in China market. The goal is to have a local solution for the local platforms, including all the instant games and the local ecosystem, like the new platform, the operating system, etc. So up to now, we already have roughly 400 people in China to support the local market, and we have more than 70% of our folks are engineers supporting the largest or the many of the Chinese developers to help them to build games like Genshin Impact, Honor of Kings, or Call of Duty Mobile. And we also have more and more developers there. Meanwhile, we know like again to is this the right one? Okay, right. Yeah, we know getting to the China market is quite difficult. First of all, in China there's no Google Play. So in the Android market, so fragmented, we have Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, Honor, and of course Huawei and other small channels. And these channels, they have their custom-made Android. And they have a different stores, have a very different regulation. And in addition, there's emerging new platforms include like in the instant game market from starting from WeChat, and then ByteDance have the TikTok, we call Douyin instant games. And we see more and more players with large audience, including Alipay or all the hardware OEMs. As long as you have a large audience, people are figuring out to bring the games to this audience. So we'll see a big variety of course, tap is another one. So we see a big variety of new platforms that for people to publish in the game. So this creates a very, very challenging task for many of these publishers. Secondly, compliance is another big topic or a big headache for publishing games in China. You need to get the right copyright registration. You need to buy in all kind of like ICP, and more importantly, you want to do the IAP games. You have to do the ISBN numbers. This is the most famous ISBN numbers. In the registry, they use the ISBN numbers, the pace to distribute an approved ISBN number as a way to control the pace of the gaming market. This is particularly challenging for the overseas games. So in 24, we see some kind of relax in the regulation. So we saw close to 1,500 of the domestic games that got ISBN numbers approved. And compared to last year, it's more than 50% increase. Interestingly, many of the games waiting for ISBN numbers didn't see their games before they die. Game publishers. And this is even challenging for the imported games. There's roughly 100 imported games getting to get ISBN numbers. However, there's some kind of flexibility that's opening up for the games that do not have IAP. So it's more flexible for IAs, and it's also more flexible for the games want to get on the instant game space. So this is the opportunities we are seeing for the overseas games. To help the developers to get better move the games into China, so we actually in China market we actually create a local version of Unity based on Unity 2022 LTS. So the local version of Chuanjie engine is particularly tailored for the Chinese market. So we focus on making games running on instant game. So you look at about 3 years ago. So there's almost no Unity games in WeChat because the runtime was so big and the loading time was so slow. So, the 3 years ago, the majority of the WeChat games is all Coco, Slaya, and Eagle, etc. But if you look at today, after we have been the China team have been working with the WeChat for almost 3 years to optimize the engine and optimize the runtime. So as of now, Unity games already account for roughly 50% of the instant game revenue in WeChat, and the number is growing up. And the latest among the top 100 games, like 29 games are made with Unity and Chuanjie. And with the deep cooperation with WeChat, we already see more than 500 new games that made with Chuanjie. They're running on WeChat already, and we see the numbers continue to grow as we continue to push the limit. Now, so if we look at the WeChat games, right now it's not a super huge games anymore. So we have the games that require memory size more than 1 gig. We managed to make it down to 600, make it runnable. And we also help developers to address the heating problem, the threading problem, to make many of the mid-core games that's runnable on WeChat. If you look at the top one, Wipeout Survivor. Wipeout Survivor is amazing. It's made with Unity, and it's not a casual game. We'll see more and more serious games, higher quality games that made with Unity and with Chuanjie that go on WeChat pretty soon. And of course, we, in China we have the new ecosystem that based on open source, the operating system, Open Harmony, that's moving into the market. We are the ChanGen engine also have the natural support to support open harmony, so that games want to open to find a new audience to get on the next new phones. Then we can help you to get there. And another thing is, in China, in the last couple of years, we see the EV cars that have more and more powerful chipsets that capable of running games. And with better screen, better sound, and we see a growing interest in bringing some of these games into the car. And we see the numbers of the new cars that are capable of running games is at the range of 10 million or more, and the number is growing. So I do like to get into contact with the overseas developers. If you build good Steam games or console games, talk to us. Let's figure a way to bring these games into the car, because it's it's definitely a blue sea. Nobody is there, and people are looking for games. The next is, so to get the games into China, we always face the challenges. So outside China, we use PlayFab, we use Unity UGS. When we go into China, how do our game connect to the network? So we have built a complete whole set of cloud services, that from authentication to cloud save to friends to leaderboard and to multiplayer. Anything you need, we build a full set of services will help you to integrate. And also, in addition, we also offer the operating service. We do the help you to do the user acquisition. Of course, we are not the expert compared to some of the leading publishers. We are new in the market, so but we do believe that with the more and more games we publish and the experience we build, the more data we can help the developer, our publishers, to get more value from the user acquisition, and we will be responsible for the funding of the user acquisition for the games publishing through us. And then the next thing is we do help us with all the paper to do the regulation. So we will give you a full step or the full package of service. After we started this service in last July, and in the last 6 months, we actually already bring over, I think, 40 games online. So we know how difficult it is, how the tedious it is to go through the process. And not only to the ISP number filing, it's at every step, including to work with each channel. They have a different way of approval. They have a different way of so we have experienced all of this, and we want to help you guys to save the effort to go through this again. We will provide a common service for you and help you to, so you just focus on building games, not worry about all this. So this is the full set of the service. We have a whole set of the cloud service. We have almost everything you can think of to build a game. And these are the cloud services we have it deployed in China. And more importantly, we also have a service to do the automatic packaging for any SDKs that from the channels. We will support virtually all the channels we have, so you don't need to worry about have to open up your code to do all the integration and do the end-to-end testing. So we will take care of this. Next one. We know one CP handle a game to a publisher. What's the people? How safe is our code? How safe is the project? We worry that when our IP is in the hand of other folks. So we fully understand this, and we have many experience because we work with many of the big titles. So we know how to the need, and so we develop a secure environment and a control process for you, so that your project will be tightly controlled by, of course, by our IT. We can always find a way to turn around to control by your IT. And we only expose the piece of the code that need to, including the SDK, the glue code for SDK or anything that's needed for modification to make the game runnable in a particular program. So we don't want to expose any additional unnecessary code to the developers who are making all the porting or the localization. So this is our goal, is to protect, create a safe environment to make sure that your IP is in good hands. And sometimes when we spoke to overseas developers, some of them ask this: the CP want to control the code, including all the modification, but we figured out that the majority of the time is too painful. It's too painful for us to come back with every change request for you and have you to make the change and give to us, and then we have to. So it's better to together we have a trusty environment to have the the people making the change have the freedom to make the change, but do not touch the code or the assets that they do not need to touch. Okay. So next. So this is a small showcase that we work with Voodoo, and we are just beginning. So this is Boom Up and 28. We haven't because these two games they need to make further modification to make it adjustable for the China market. So we are still in the testing phase, run it on Android, but we are going to do it in the make it runnable on bring these two games to WeChat and to TikTok and make it available to more and more developers. And that's all. We are here outside we have booths. Feel free to talk to us, and we are very eager to work with you guys to bring more interesting games into China market for the Chinese audience. And thank you all.